guys, I share with another Raid Shadow Legends champion guide, this time on Goffred Brassclad. Shout out to some of you guys before we jump into it here. Shout out to Bernardo. Of course, I get all of my best champion guide requests and ideas from you guys. And by the way, as I kind of scroll through and give some shout outs to you guys, I just want to point out that I am aware I've been very heavy on the legendary champions the last week or two here on the channel. I think only maybe one rare and one epic in the last 2 weeks. It's just frankly because of the requests. You guys are exponentially giving me a lot more legendary requests than the rares and the mythicals and epics. But either way, keep the requests coming. Thomas, shout out. A lot of requests here for Goffred, huh? Well, let's see what this little dude has in store for us. So I say little dude with all affection. He is a little magic affinity dwarf, not Herndig. Where the heck am I? There we go, Goffred. He is, as I said, literally clad in brass. I mean, he absolutely lives up to the name in terms of his aesthetic. Look at him. What do you think he looks like in there? No one will ever know. No one will ever know. But anyway, I love the aesthetics of him, man. He's absolutely just covered in head to toe everywhere with this brass armor. He's a defense-based champion. As I said, Magic Affinity Dwarf Legendary Champion. His base stats are pretty good, almost 20k HP, 1432, solid on the defense, and 102 in the speed. Average to above average in those categories, specifically speed and defense. We have meat punishment. Is that met or meat? Mete? Sorry, not unfamiliar with that. Meat punishment attacks one enemy 2 times. First hit has a 50% chance of placing a decreased defense. Second hit has a 50% chance of placing a provoke. Very, very good A1 ability for control, namely in the arena or really anywhere else. On the A2, he has an AoE stun, 100% stun on a 3-turn cooldown. It's funny how not so many, but more and more champions have this ability. A few of the mythicals do as well. This 3-turn cooldown stun. You know, back in my day, there was no Astralon. There was no guaranteed stun. I want to say no 100% stun ability in the game for a long time until Astralon came around. And then since then, they've added more and more and more, which is nice because stun is something that obviously is great in the arena, in wave content, but it's not great against bosses. So I like that they actually gave us more of these stun options. And Goffred is definitely one of the best out there, right? Just a straight up AoE stun. Damage based on defense, he can pack a punch too. This guy has really solid multipliers. I would probably put him somewhere in like the top 5, definitely top 10 territory in terms of defensive based nukers in the game. He brings his own increased defense as well on not just himself, but all allies. And then he's also removing decreased defense and weaken from all allies. It sounds kind of conditional, which it is. They need to have the debuffs. But, you know, it comes in handy if you do ever find yourself in a situation where you do have those debuffs on your team. And then it really, to me, the highlight of his kit is the A2 and the passive, most importantly. So pay attention on Brassclad. The passive effect is whenever an ally is attacked while under block damage buff placed by this champion, which he places in the next part here, right, has a 100% chance when booked of placing a stun debuff on the attacker for 1 turn. Okay, so I'll repeat that, and it will make more sense when we get to the second part. But whenever an ally is attacked while under a block damage placed by him, it places a stun on them. That's really dang good. Active effect. If an ally is about to get killed by a fatal hit, blocks incoming damage and places a block damage buff on them for 1 turn. This is on a 4-turn cooldown. So pretty unique ability. Very good for the arena specifically, but you know, as we kind of always say here, pretty good in a lot of different places in the game, right? Anywhere you're going to take fatal damage, he will prevent the damage. It's not like they're stuck on 1 HP or something. He'll straight up prevent that damage and then block damage on that champion too. So it's a really strong ability, even on the 4-turn cooldown. Faction Wars Arena. Let me just take a look at his multipliers here and look at hellhades.com, man. Wow. Wow. I mean, this is a very versatile kit. They give him a 3.5, which I find interesting. They give him this low of a score, like maybe slightly above average, given how many areas they give him a 4-star or above in, right? That being said, I'm not going to really argue too much with that grading overall. I think he's best in the arena or anywhere progression, So I think I'd probably give him a 4-star. I think he's definitely underrated in the arena, which we will spend the majority of our time doing in this video. Clan Boss, Hydra, Doom Tower, 4 stars. Ice Golem, 4 stars. Spider, Hard Mode, 4 stars. With the AoE, the stun, we get the Dark Fae, 4 stars. Eternal Dragon, 4 stars. Celestial Griffin, Magma Dragon with the Provoke on the A1, and Dreadhorn as well, 4 stars. Arena, 3.5. Ironically, I would give him a 4 or 4.5 in the arena and maybe a little bit lower in some of these other areas. But again, we're splitting hairs a bit here. 1.8 multiplier on the A1 is a 2-time hitter. A 3.7 multiplier on the A2, that's very strong. To put it in comparison, Valkyrie's A2 is a 3 defensive-based AoE. This is a 3.7. Granted, his base defense isn't as high as Valkyrie, so take that into consideration as well. And then no damage coming from the A3 ability. Let me show you how I have him built, guys. I have him built for... I was going to say for arena content, but really, I have him in a pretty robust, all-around, versatile build. Here it is. It's Bolster. You guys know how much I love Bolster sets, man. I never go into a live arena battle without a Bolster champion, right? And I routinely run Go Second Team, so that's why, right? I want that protected shield. I mean, everybody's running Sun Wukong. You really can't get by in, once you get into gold and beyond in the arena, it's tough to get by in a shield set. You really need that bolster, make it protected. So his HP doesn't scale that well, but the thing that I'm always trying to do is give myself some secondary bolster options in case my first option, dies or it gets banned, excuse me. I do want to point out, though, they recommend just to give you some other options, right? On Hell Hades, they recommend Perception for PvE. Perception, Reflex, Relentless, and Speed. What would be my favorite there? I would say Perception would be my favorite option. For PvP, they recommend Stone Skin, Protection, Swift Parry, or Immunity. Does anybody run Immunity nowadays? It's not very popular. All the buff removal going out there, right? Either way, we have them pretty fast at 246. We have 4,000 defense, 73k on the HP. So not the best for a bolster set because we want defense and HP. And again, I want to be clear. It's not like I would recommend bolster as my first option, but it's great. You keep him healed up. Obviously, get that nice shield on everybody. And then I put a perception set on him as well. We are a little shy on the accuracy on this build, though, with only 275 for the late game. I have HP on the banner, but I think we need to swap it out, guys. Nowadays, I don't know about you. Let me know if you're in the same boat or not. But nowadays, I am running, for the end game in Raid, I'm running 350-ish accuracy, even higher in some areas, Iron Twins and stuff like that, some of the newer dungeons. But 371 should be great to get by in the arena, and 241 is more than enough in terms of speed. We have them pretty fast because we love opening up with this stun. Now, a 200 speed will be fine in PvE content for progression, but in the arena, ideally, he's going before the other team's nukers and or buffers. Not always going to be the case, but it's nice to have him fast anyway, right? Plus, we can get this increased defense on. In terms of the reflex set recommendation, I'm not sure if I would run reflex on him. You definitely can, right? Get that stun down or reduce the cooldown on the increased defense. I'd much rather just go with lasting gifts, which we don't have the masteries. We're going to do those together in just a moment. Anyway, really quickly to wrap up the artifacts, we have defense on the ring, we have crit damage on the amulet, we have accuracy now on the banner, and let's go ahead and ascend, see if we can get something lucky here. HP, well, we'll take it. He's in the bolster set after all, right? I would run Perception, or Stone Skin, personally. Those would be my options, if I didn't have him in a bolster. Anyway, we have speed on the boots, obviously, and we have defense percentage on the chest and HP percentage on the gauntlets. Nice little mix there. In terms of blessings, we don't have them awakened, unfortunately. If we did, You could put temporal chains on him, add a little bit more control to his kit. I think that temporal chains personally is a bit underused. Ward of the Fallen is an option as well. You could even run Intimidating Presence, or if you're going all out nuker, you could definitely go with Soul Reap on this dude. However, we don't need the attack. So personally, I try to stay away from defense based attackers from the Soul Reap, unless maybe I have like a 5 or a 6 star and I really just want to get that extra crit damage mixed with the True Fear and HP threshold up. Anyway, I digress. So that's the build. Masteries. Let's do them together, guys. Now, I will point out here, we only have 75% on the crit rate. So we're really prioritizing the HP and the defense, the survivability, and the I guess the tankage that he adds to the team, and the control and the accuracy and all the above. Now, you can definitely build him to be more of a hardcore nuker on your team. So I've even seen some people in the end game build him in Savage or Lethal gear, right? He hits hard enough to justify that, and it's nice that he does bring his own increased defense, not only getting more survivability for the entire team, but also more damage out of him because he's defense-based. Anyway, I digress, but I will go ahead and pick up at least the crit rate and the crit damage here. Targets under shield, sure. Let's go with Ruthless Ambush. Let's go Cycle of Violence. You could definitely go Opportunist as well, because you get more damage on targets under stun. So there's that option. He brings his own stun. He has the stun on the passive. As a matter of fact, heck, let's go Opportunist. Let's do it. After that, we're gonna go with Kill Streak, and then we're just gonna chill for a minute here on the offensive side of things and think about what we want. You can definitely go defense on this dude as well, but I'm gonna go support because I want more accuracy, and I actually want to pick up Lasting Gifts. So I'm gonna go Cycle of Magic and pick up Lasting Gifts to get an extension potentially on that increased defense. If I really need the accuracy, you could go Eagle Eye, but I think it's better actually just to go Helm Smasher on this dude, right? Kind of play into his biggest strength, which is his control and damage. So let's go with Single Out as well. Yeah, we can go Single Out, or we could go, he's casting one buff. He's casting the debuffs on the stun, and then the debuffs on the A1. I'll go Arcane Celerity instead. I really love Arcane Celerity, Rapid Response, Cycle of Violence, Cycle of Revenge. I like all those turn meter boosters, obviously, provided I'm not running a Speed Tune team. Anyway, let me move out of the way here. These are the Masteries that we ended up going with here, guys. Let me know what your favorite Masteries would be setting up this champion. He's for a fairly simple champion, he's got kind of a lot that we're going on in terms of the damage, the speed, the tankage, the debuffs, the control, everything. The little fella packs a punch, and he also brings a lot of versatility to the team. All right, Doom Tower time, guys. Let's go. I think there was a secret room here that was a Goffred room. No? Maybe not. Let's just go with the Dark Fae team. I was just messing around with some teams here. Basically, I don't even really need to show you the run, do I, guys? To get why he would be good in Dark Fae. It's once we get to the final wave, the final round here, he's going to be fantastic at, CCing the enemy team or the mirror copies of our champions. The downside is his passive, that block damage, will work on their side as well, right? So take that into consideration. Things could go wrong at the same time, which we have to be very careful of. So we turned off his A2 ability on this wave because we want him to lead in with the control, with the stun against our mirrored images. So you don't have to have a Necmo Thar on this team or really any of these champions specifically. You could run like a Lysandra. I feel like they're adding every week, they're adding like a new mythical champion that has the turn meter boosting mechanic and the turn meter depletion mechanic at the same time. Anyway, we're going to go in there, going to land some debuffs. I'm going to come in and I'm going to go, I purposely ran Michinaki on this team because, and here we go in with so he attacks somebody under block damage, so he gets stunned. That is a great Goffred Brassclad highlight here, being on the other team, which is kind of annoying, right? So you can see here, guys, we've got a little issue in Allure who has block damage because of Goffred. But we're going to be okay here. I just thought it was, pretty funny though, nonetheless, right? You do have to be careful of that. You got to be careful of that. So we finally get in there. The reason I actually brought Mishinaki is because he has that buff removal in his kit, right? And I thought that it would be handy to have to remove the block damage from the enemy team. Now we can just put it on auto here, and they'll be able to take care of Dark Fae. But yeah, I mean, looking for that 3-turn, that 3-turn cooldown on the stun allows you to still use the A2 ability, the control, the stun on the first wave, shut it off on the team setup for the second wave, and then on the, against the boss, we can just go in and basically use everything, right? So Ninja's going to do the heavy lifting here against Dark Fae, and we have the A2 and the A3 obviously shut off on Allure here as well. So let's go ahead and come to you at the end of this one. It's only going to take a couple more minutes, but it's kind of boring, and then we'll jump into the arena. Be right back. All right, guys, so that run is now over, and you guys can see Goffred doing a nice job, dishing out a little bit of damage, dishing out some control, and, well, you guys know the rest, right? Let's go ahead and jump into the arena with this little dude. Where am I going? Where am I going? What am I doing? All right, arena time, classic. I don't know, let's go against the Go First team here. We're not going to run that team, don't worry. Where could we run him? The cool thing is he fits on any sort of team. Let's go ahead and put him in here with the fun team. Man, I can't, hopefully you guys don't mind. I feel like I've given a spotlight on this sort of a team with like Nogdar and Sun Wukong so many times here on the channel. But anyway, I find it really fun if you couldn't tell, right? We're going against Lord Shizarro. I should have noticed, but I didn't notice. He might cook me here, guys. Let's see. Sun Wu is alive because of the magic, right? The magic. Hey, look at that. Goffred is going to save the day. He's going to save the little fella. Boom. This has actually ended up being a perfect spotlight for him, right? Because we would have absolutely lost this one had we not had him on the team, right? That block damage allowed us to keep Sun Wukong alive, and we came in there and we got the victory, right? Pretty cool, right? So you can see how strong that passive is, right? What if you don't go first on a Go First team? Or what if you're running a Go Second team and you just need someone to survive, whoever it may be, right? Very, very good stuff. All right, let's go ahead. In this situation, we can come and stun everybody, or we could go with the increased defense. We'll go ahead and stun everybody and kill everybody too, right? And keep in mind, we don't have crit damage on the gauntlets. We don't have anything. We don't have him built to be a nuker in today's highlight, right? So do not hold the 20k AoE against him. I think it's safe to say that this dude could probably, hit for, well, let's see. You know what? He's annoying, Elder Skarg, huh? Look at all this junk. Look at all this junk. Provoked and frozen, everybody. Your Carl, what the heck? Let's just go in with a little nukage. Take down a couple of them. They get revived. But we still have another turn of Stone Skin here. We actually want somebody to die right now on our team so that Heffrat can go in. Okay. So we get the block damage again, right? Which you may argue is not exactly what we want in terms of the block damage, right? Because he, let's go in with a stun. Nice. Because we actually wanted somebody to die in this team, so it's a little unorthodox, but it is what it is. Let's put him on a more, Go Second team. The nice thing is he can be, stating the obvious here, here we go. Now someone died. Now Heffrat can go in with his Scorn. Now he revives himself. Now he can take the extra turn. Now we come back in with the AoE, and now everybody's dead. There we go. Let's put him on, okay, enough of the silly team here. Enough of the silly team. Let's put him on a more of a traditional, bomb teams are everywhere, huh, guys? More of a traditional Go Second team, right? So let's go, how about this? How about use Tormin? This combo, which I love so much. Let's do it. Now, we can run him. Oh, he has no aura, I forgot. Let's run Duchess in the actually, so it's an HP-based champion, defense-based champion. Well, we need the defense, obviously, to get more damage out of our Tormin. So that's going to be great. Let's just run somebody in the lead. I think that a Reviver is great. Doesn't need to be Duchess. It could be really anybody here. But let's put Duchess in there. And let's put Arbiter. No. She's more of a go for. She's speedy, Ash. Let's go Duchess. We're going Go Second here. Come on, man. We can put Goffred in, and boom. Now we're cooking, man. I just did a video on this this combo, Tormund and Tyrant. So fun, guys. So freaking fun. And you'll see why in this fight right here. Anybody with freeze and a burn who gets a turn, he automatically goes in with his A1. So instead of landing stuns here, we're not really too scared of Trunda against this tanky team. So we're going to put an increased defense on everybody anyway. And then we're going to get in here. Hopefully we freeze somebody soon. That way we can start going with the A1s, right? As soon as the block debuffs go up, we'll be good. Now, we do have a little redundancy on this team because we have 2 increased defense champions, but they're quite different too, so it's all good. We can't stun anybody with block debuffs, but we're just going to go through for the damage and cycle through our abilities anyway. Now we can get cooking here, try to take down the Reviver with Tormund, and obviously able to get more damage out of, you know, definitely a capable defensive-based nuker, but not who people think of as their first choice for defensive nuker and Tormund because of that increased defense. And it's looking unlikely like we're going to be in the situation on a team like this that we're going to need the block damage. I don't think anybody's going to die on this team, but you never know. It's really nice to have, right? All right. So we unfortunately get a resist there on Duchess, and we do have a bomb kind of chilling over here. We have our A3 back up. Let's refresh the increased defense for a little bit. Here come the bombs. Okay, this could be good. This could be good here. If these bombs go, we're going to go ahead and... Oh, man. Did we already use the block damage and I missed it? There it is. There it is. I'm like, where's the block damage? This actually ended up being a perfect battle because now we can see the power of that block damage, keeping our Reviver alive. If she died, we'd be absolutely toast here. We'd be SOL. All right, here we go, here we go, here we go. So now, at least we have a frozen Tundra, or Trunda, but now we're going to be to where we want to be, right? We're going to be able to pick him up in a couple turns, but we're going to start seeing as soon as they start taking turns, we're going to start seeing the Tormund. Okay, here we go. We can pick him right back up. He starts going in Tormund with his A1. This is exactly where we want to be. We can protect everybody, go in A2, take down one of their Revivers. They got one left, but I think we're going to be good here. And again, this is actually perfect. It wasn't clean. It wasn't smooth. It wasn't pretty at all. But it's exactly what I wanted to highlight, right? How valuable having that block damage on our Reviver. If he was not on the team, we would have been toast unless we had another Reviver, right? So guys, hopefully you've enjoyed this Goffred Brassclad guide. I think the little fella is absolutely capable of going into gold 1, 2, 3, 4 in Classic Arena and in Live Arena. I think he's used all the way in the top 200. He's not super popular meta in the top 200 of Live Arena, but he can absolutely be used. I do see him from time to time. I would recommend investing in him, whether you're a progression player struggling with dungeon content, progression content, or someone who wants to explore a defense-based go second team, or just kind of a, I don't know, a little bit different from the norm option for the arena. Thank you for watching till the end, guys. Much love, and as always, take care.